This episode includes explicit content. If you're under the age of 15, please do not listen to this show.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Hypocrisy. I'm your host Razan, and today I'm joined by.
Hey guys, I'm Ahmed.
Hey guys, I'm Lana.
Hey guys, I'm Fatima.
Today we're going to be talking about body image.
First of all, body image is basically the way you see yourself and how you feel about that perception of you.
Yeah, there are four aspects of body image. It's first, the way you see yourself. Second, the way you feel about the way you look. Third, the thoughts and beliefs you feel about your body. And fourth, the things you do in relation to the way you look.
But here's the real question. Why do we feel pressured to look like a certain body type, like a certain ideal?
I would
I
They're
feel
definitely
I
like
say
they're
it's,
called
society.
they're called ideals for a reason. Do you know what I
Yeah, because
mean?
they can be
yeah,
achieved.
Exactly. Or maybe they can, but just not for everyone. And ensuing the fact that everybody should be able to look like a size zero model is just, it's stupid.
it's what Instagram and the people around you and your society makes you feel.
Yeah, it's all about society and media, and it's like the embedded ideals, they're just way too unrealistic. Like a female might only be found attractive if she has like perfect skin or a thin waist or straight hair, blue eyes. Why can't curls or curly hair or brown eyes be considered attractive? And it's not
And then,
just females, it's males too, you know? Like they
Yeah,
also suffer from like low self-esteem related to negative body image. But like it may be less likely to show it because supposedly it's less socially acceptable.
Yeah. Like, when you go to the gym, see, when you go to the gym, like, you're always recommended to talk to a trainer first because so many people aim for a specific body type
yeah.
mhm.
that simply doesn't suit their own body, like their own metabolism. And it's actually very unhealthy. Like, do you know how many diseases result from trying to achieve a body that your body isn't suited to? Like
Yeah, not only
anorexia.
diseases, yourself too, your
Yeah,
mental illness.
exactly.
You get
You'll
like
never be pleased with
tired.
yourself.
Yeah,
And like, for example, like every person has a different body, like it's a body structure. Like some people are born with, like, let's say, a wide waist, let's say. This is very
yeah.
common in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh while others are born with, like, let's say, thick thighs, and some others simply, no matter how much they work out, they can never get a thicker thigh.
Oh,
And this is just because, like, the way that is the way the body is, like, structured, like, genetically.
And I feel
And when
like
we and like when
it's
we try
okay.
to go against it, it's going to result in diseases, and even like mental perception of your own self will go down a lot, and you'll, like,
hmm.
probably end up being depressed, unpleased, like, very unhappy.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like society really needs to understand that not everyone has the body metabolism and the genetic,
You
you
see,
know,
we say that, but like at the end of the day, we are society, and like believe it or not, we've all participated in like trying to get the perfect body or eating a
definitely.
certain type of way. And we are sometimes, I won't say this about everyone, but I know a lot of people who are just maybe opposed to the idea of acceptance. And I feel like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that like even if like we all like spread body positivity, like some people still like don't like to talk to like fat people or like overweight people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you mean.
Yeah,
Like
but
But
there's
that's
I
just
still
think you
not
should.
right.
exactly, but there's still that stigma, and no matter how many token like curvy girls a magazine puts in their like October news, it's not going to change that. You know,
Yeah.
a long time ago, skinny girls were portrayed as poor, unfed, and just like
Yeah,
practically the most
Yeah.
disgusting creatures in the world. And now it's the total opposite. And I believe that in like maybe 10, 20 years, tables are going to turn again. And it's like, but what do you want us to do? And the thing is that
True.
like men oppose this on women and then women oppose it on men, and instead of both of
it's
them
very
just like
toxic.
leaving each other alone to be whoever they want, they still oppose this toxic culture on them, and then they complain about society. Well, you are society.
Yeah, for example, there's
Yeah.
this scene in Grey's Anatomy where this
Mhm.
woman comes, like, emergency room, she's very sick, she's like vomiting, and like she needs a surgery ASAP. And like when they
Yeah.
try to investigate why this is happening, because the doctor needs to know why these things are happening,
Mhm.
they find out like it's basically her partner pressuring her to be healthy and everything. To be healthy, punctuation marks. And when the doctor says, she was already healthy prior to all this workout stuff you gave her, like you were just trying to
Mhm.
get her to a specific
He's
body image.
pressuring her.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
there's a difference. Like just because you're not an ideal body type doesn't mean you're unhealthy.
And
Yeah.
I don't understand how people can do that to their partner. And
It's
this is
being
actually
judgy.
prevalent. It's prevalent in Arabic culture where husbands want their wives to look a certain way. Like I've heard stories about men that make their wives go on a scale like every month, and it is just the most fucked up shit in the world. Like, first of all, don't take someone
Bad
if you
boy.
don't like the way that they look. And even let's say you're opposed by you hate the way this person looks and you don't like them, then don't talk to them. Just leave them alone.
Like, many partners, especially in the Middle East, like especially the
Mhm.
husband, expects the wife to be like, ideal, like basically
Yeah.
the way the
Exactly.
media, but while they themselves don't even bother working out or even caring about the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Exactly.
really
They look like
toxic.
questionable creatures walking the earth.
They
And
I
you know,
think
swear to
guys,
it's
it's
build
God.
a
not just
bitch.
grown-ups. Like it's kids too. Like these
It's
days, like
everyone.
yeah, being thin or like muscular or toned, it's like it's been associated with like being popular or beautiful or
Uh-huh.
successful. And that is like
Mhm.
that's just not right. And like we have to remember that like all these commercials we see on like TV or social media, like they go like lose 10 kilograms in a month, get rid of this fat, take these pills.
Oh,
Like children are seeing
have
these
Exactly.
too. And
have
when
you
you
Let's
guys
talk
complain,
about
like
diet cultures.
yeah, when
We
you
need to talk
complain
about
about
them.
looking fat or skinny or something, your little sibling, your daughter, son, like anyone who's like a child, they see it and they internalize it. And then it initiates like a lifetime of being obsessed with body image. And then imagine a
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
kid, instead of enjoying their own childhood, they worry about being too fat or too skinny. Like that's just not
Exactly.
right.
It also
Yeah.
becomes a
exactly?
voice in their head.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
And
like,
it's just
you know, there's a difference between encouraging someone to be healthy and encouraging them to be an ideal body type.
here's the
Yeah.
Like,
thing. If you like what you eat and food makes you happy and you look not like and you're not the skinniest person, it doesn't matter. It only matters if you are morbidly obese that it would actually affect your daily life and you
Health.
become sick because of
Exactly.
it. That is the
Mm-hmm.
only time people should be talking about obesity. But someone not
exactly.
having a 23-inch waist doesn't institute the fact that they should go on a diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, some people can actually look overweight while being very healthy. Like,
Exactly.
like medically, like the doctor will tell you they're perfectly fine. They won't even have any problems in the future.
Hmm.
But society always wants to make it seem as though being overweight is definitely unhealthy.
And who
And
told you being healthy is having a flat stomach?
exactly, like
You
some
know, who
people,
said
some people
that?
are don't like some people it's genetic. Like they just don't have a flat stomach.
No, and the fact that we actually need fat around our stomach to protect our internal organs and people try to get rid of it. Like it's just it's really crazy to me and I don't get it.
Yeah,
But
the skinniest person isn't always healthy. Like I know so many skinny
mhm.
people
Mhm.
that literally eat junk food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And here's the
And
thing.
Yeah.
Skinny
their
food
body will have so many more problems than an overweight healthy person.
the thing is that skinny people also hate themselves. They also have body dysmorphia. They also have body image issues. They think they are too skinny and they think they don't have curves or I'm shaped like a box or I'm flat. And it's just like, well, if skinny girls hate themselves and medium girls hate themselves and fat girls hate themselves and everyone hates themselves, then why can't we just cancel all of that out and none of us hate
Exactly. And
ourselves?
stop being
Yeah.
Exactly.
judgmental.
And here's the
And
thing,
you
if
know,
you
oh,
want a
sorry.
certain body type, then and you really, really want it, then internalize it and get it. No one's stopping you.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
you don't
Like
have to
Exactly.
project it on other people.
yeah.
But you have to do it in a healthy way too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Like that's why like they always encourage you to talk to a trainer first before you begin
Mm-hmm.
your beautiful
And
diets and workout
and
Yeah.
plans.
please take this from me, if you haven't eaten today, go and eat. Don't skip meals. You're slowing your metabolism. By the time you get to the age of 20, you're going to have the metabolism of a 50-year-old and you're actually burning less carbs. When you eat more, you train your body to burn more.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to cough. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
You can mute yourself if you want to cough too, by the
Oh,
way.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
And
so
also, it's like, when you describe a person, you can say they're tall, they're blonde, but like recently, like saying so, like describing someone as like fat or curvy, it has become like an indication of their moral character. And like
mm,
Mhm.
people tend to be compelled to think that fat is bad, but it isn't. Like healthy,
yeah,
attractive bodies come in like many different shapes and sizes. And physical appearance says very little about our character or value as a person. Like how we look does not define who we really are as people. And like
Exactly.
shape and
Exactly.
size, they are not indicators of character or intelligence or morality or you as a person.
They
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't affect the way that people look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
a
there's
person
a thing that's very prevalent that people are really talking about right now. It's something called pretty privilege, where like girls that are prettier or skinnier are treated better by people in general. And like people who like lost like let's say like 50 kilograms and like they see the difference between like for example how a waiter treats them or how people open the door for them
Mm-hmm.
on the way. And that
Yeah.
is so disgusting.
exactly.
Like
Like why
if
would you
you
treat
want to be
someone
nice.
differently
Yeah.
based on their body type?
Exactly. If you think they're
Makes no
attractive, if you
sense.
think that they are worthy of your kindness, then you're kind to them. But if you
Yeah.
don't know people, then like, oh my God. It's, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also like the problem when we try to like defeat the standard that oh being overweight is definitely ugly, it's disgusting, it's bad and everything. I sometimes feel as though some people go overboard in that defense and attack
Yeah.
people who have the
Or
ideal body
skinny.
type. Like, you know?
Exactly. Like, you know, every single person struggles with body image, okay? And just because you think somebody is perfect doesn't mean that they think they're perfect.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And you can't go and attack someone just because they look the way that you want to look. Like the worst type of projection is insecurity.
Definitely.
Don't be
Like,
insecure. Don't. And if you are insecure, then work on yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Every like single person is insecure at a point in time in their lives. And maybe it's
You
for a long
either,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, but you just don't need to project it to people.
like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
have you guys?
And if
I
you want to work on yourself, you either work on yourself in a way where you reach where you want to be, or you learn how to love yourself the way you already
exactly.
are.
Exactly. And don't stop comparing yourself to others. Like
Mm,
we're all different. We all have
Yes,
different body
exactly.
shapes and
Like,
that
sizes.
is the most
And if you keep
important point.
comparing, you'll never get to where you want to get because you're never going to be like anyone else. We're all unique
yeah,
in our
exactly.
different
That's something
ways.
biological and scientific. Like, not all bodies are meant to be the same. It's
Yeah,
genetic variation.
And you're
You know,
too
some
caught up,
people,
and you're too
yeah,
caught
like,
up in comparing yourself to actually focus on where you're going.
yeah.
So
exactly.
you end up in the same
Mm-hmm.
place.
Yeah.
Like, some people are naturally, like, they have, like, broad shoulders, while others don't have broad shoulders. Like, for men speaking.
Each person has a different body
Hmm.
shape,
Exactly.
and
And, like,
judging them by how they look isn't the way to go.
yeah.
Like
And,
Ahmed,
and
even women, like I feel like have this issue with like shoulders that like if your shoulders aren't like very, very small, then they're termed man shoulders, and that's like very
Yeah.
frowned upon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, I'm sure you guys have probably experienced it or heard it from someone else experiencing it. Like, when they used to be overweight for a while, everyone was making fun of them. Then they started working out, and still, everyone is still making fun of them. Like, before they were being called fat, now they're being called skinny. Oh my God, you look like a stick. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Like,
People, they
you'll
exactly.
never
tend to
please
judge you no
everyone.
matter what you do. Like, you can never really please them. So as long as you're
Exactly.
happy
Like,
with what you're
you,
doing, then خلاص, that's it.
you should seek to please yourself, not others. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Hmm.
it's your body. It's you who's going to be looking into the mirror.
And we say this so easily, and I understand that it's so much easier said than done. It's so much
Mm-hmm.
easier to like
Mm,
preach acceptance and self-love and just
yeah,
oppose
but in
body
reality, it's a
dysmorphia.
hard process.
It's a really hard thing, you know. I know
Yeah, it
I
is.
some people I've seen, they look at themselves in the mirror and they cry and they hate themselves, no matter whether they're skinny or whether they're overweight or whether that's really bad.
No, I
Yeah,
think
underweight and
no, I actually
overweight.
think we should defeat the fact that fat always refers to something negative or skinny always refers to something negative or positive. I think we should
That's
defeat
the
that.
thing. Like at a point in this time, like if you say like if you use the term fat, everyone's like it's extremely offensive and it's very, very bad and it hurts
Yeah, and
like
like those are the same
people's
people who
feelings.
impose their ideal body standard on everyone.
And that's a stigma. Like the word fat should not like be a bad thing. It's meant a bad
Exactly.
thing for a very long time. It's been used to bully
Unless
people.
unless you're using it to offend someone,
Mhm.
And
then
it
it's
should be
not a bad
like
thing.
any other description, like being tall, being short, being
Exactly.
blonde, being
Yeah.
brunette. It should be like that. It shouldn't be considered something bad that we can't
Like,
use or something.
Being overweight is the same thing as like let's say being fat, but using the word overweight is so much more socially acceptable than being called fat because there's just there's such a strong stigma around this word, and it has to be destroyed. It can't
yeah,
be
Yeah.
like if you view this word as a bad word, then just no, I don't know how to explain this, but like
like basically
don't let it
society has
have
made
a
it seem as
bad
something
meaning.
bad.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Don't let it affect you. It shouldn't be something that is like scary or offensive in your life. It's a
Yeah.
word just like any other word, and it shouldn't have that much of an effect on you. People shouldn't have that much of an effect on you.
Like, if you guys go through like really old literature, like, prior to like 300 years,
Hmm.
you will see that the words that are similar to like fat or like skinny or specific skin color isn't actually used to insult someone. It's actually just used to like describe them. And then over
Yeah.
time, we started using these descriptions to insult one another. And this is where society started perceiving it as insulting, while at the same time also mentally crippling someone to like a certain type.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hypocritical of society. They will insult you if you use the word
Hmm.
fat, but don't mind putting their ideal body image on everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I made any sense.
You do.
Probably didn't,
I feel
but
like the biggest problem with like let's just say weight and body image in general is weighing yourself on a scale. That is
Yeah.
the worst. Like in my opinion, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you like the way that you look and you learn
The
to love
numbers
yourself
shouldn't
the way
matter.
that you are,
exactly.
don't step
Mhm.
on a scale, because
You
you
know?
might be
Yeah.
perfectly healthy, you might look perfectly fine, but the number on the scale isn't 50,
Exactly.
and
Like,
you don't
Yeah.
want to be more than that. And so
unless,
you're going to go and get skinnier.
yeah,
Mhm.
unless it's like a medical situation, you wouldn't need to look at the scale. Because, like, doctor needs to, like, diagnose these things.
Exactly. Let's boycott scales, guys. Let's
Exactly. Like,
boycott
unless it's
scales.
medical, you don't need to use it. Because, like, even when you go to the gym and the trainer makes you a
Mhm.
plan, he doesn't tell you go weigh yourself. No, he looks at your
Yeah.
body and tells
Yeah,
you
and you see progress
exactly.
in a few months. And like
And
Yeah.
there
here's the
shouldn't
thing.
be a weight limit on beauty. Like we're all beautiful the way we
Yeah.
are. And like people, society, media, they don't get to say otherwise. And they
Yeah.
shouldn't like tell us what bodies to strive for. Like
You
as
know,
long as we're happy with our bodies, then خلاص, that's
And
it.
the
Like we
question
don't
is,
need to
who
listen to it.
decides? Who decides what body is beautiful for this particular
Exactly.
season?
exactly. Exactly.
Yourself, you and yourself, you decide
Exactly.
if
You are
you
the
are
one who,
happy. You decide if you like what you see in the mirror. No one
yeah.
should tell you how you should look. Not Instagram, not these models on Instagram, not society, not your personal
Mhm.
trainer, not anyone. If you're happy with yourself when you look at yourself in the
And
mirror,
like,
then
don't even,
that's it.
yeah, don't even talk about how terribly photoshopped these body ideal images and models are.
Exactly. Oh my
Right?
God. And
Like,
the
I'm not saying
imperfections.
everyone who has a good ideal body is definitely photoshopped. I'm not trying
Mhm.
to say that, but the amount of times that it occurs is actually unbelievable.
Yeah, and like the beauty industry, they work so hard at marketing. Like they just alter appearances into this image that's so unrealistic. And it's
Exactly.
just these like all these young women are exposed to this on a daily basis and it really affects their self-esteem and self-image. Like
And when you
Yeah.
look at the pictures that like big companies like Dior or Chanel post of their makeup, like before the model is edited and before lighting and before all that, she, uh, let's just say, doesn't look the same as the picture they
Yeah.
post on
Look like
yeah,
Instagram.
completely different people.
it's really
Mhm.
altered.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing about the
Yeah.
scales, going back to the scales, do we not realize how much our bones weigh, how much our brain weighs, how much our skulls weigh?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
Like,
It's not
next
just
time,
all about fat.
exactly, next time you weigh yourself, figure out how much your bones, your brains, your skull, all of that weigh, and then subtract it. And then you'll see,
yeah,
and then maybe you'll
exactly.
get a small number and you'll like it. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Do not do
Like,
that.
yeah, like, like, I was aiming for like a specific number on the scale,
Yeah,
and I just realized I never achieved it while I achieved the body goals that I had, you know?
Mhm.
exactly.
That's
Like, there's
And
great.
like
literally no
for
link
me,
between the scale and body type.
I was always a very like thin child, and everybody would tell me to like gain weight and eat more and
Same.
all of that. And then for a period of time in my adolescence, I was a lot more on the chubbier side. And for a
Me
couple
too.
of years now, I've been losing weight, but I haven't been trying to lose weight. You know what I mean? And in the beginning, whenever anybody would see me, like, oh my God, Razan, you lost weight. You look so good. And I'll be like, thank you.
Exactly.
And now I'll be like, you lost a lot of weight. Like, it's just like, why do we have to comment? You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
myself the way that I am right now, then why would you tell me that I'm getting too skinny or ask me if I have an eating
Like,
disorder because
not to
that's
Yeah.
not
sound
what's
sensitive or
happening.
anything, but like when I was a lot chubbier, I think it was like a few years ago, I would get like insults like, oh, you barely move, you don't exercise, you don't do anything. And then like I lost a lot of weight, and then everyone
Hmm.
just started like saying, "You look like a stick. Why don't you eat? Like put on some meat."
They judge you no matter what you do.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You
And you don't
shouldn't let
ask
Exactly.
it get
for
to
their
you.
judgment and you don't ask for it and they just give their
Yeah.
opinions. Like, I
Yeah, but like
never asked
Yeah.
you, my love.
even if I'm not insulted by that, if I don't stop you from doing that, you're gonna go do it to other people who may or may not be
Exactly.
Hmm.
insulted by that.
Like if you can't be kind, just
Yeah.
be quiet. You don't have to talk.
Period.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, how do you know
And
that person wanted to lose weight when you tell them "Oh my God, you've lost so much
Oh
weight."
my
Like,
god, I know,
Yeah,
right?
and you know these
exactly,
comments, they could affect certain people. Like some people, when they hear people, like others tell them, "Oh, you look better, you've lost weight." Like it affects them because they think they
they
weren't
were
enough
ugly.
when they were, yeah, they
Yes.
were
Exactly,
Oh
ugly,
my
considered
god.
ugly, or not enough when they were like when they
Yeah,
had a different weight, and it's just like that's not right. It's just not
exactly,
good.
Like, instead of saying
true.
you look so much better now, why don't you just say you look good? You know,
Yeah,
you're
you don't
exactly,
have
still,
to
it's the
give the
same
Or you
better and
look
idea.
like compare
happy.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like you are truly beautiful when you are happy and content with
exactly,
yourself
Mhm.
and who
Mhm.
you are. You know, like you can put on as much makeup as you want and you can lose as much weight as you want, but if you're not happy with yourself and if you don't surround yourself by people that love you and support you, then you are never going to have that natural radiance and glow that is happiness.
Mhm.
Exactly.
exactly.
True.
Like, getting to a very bad problem in the Middle East is the fact that all of us want to look a certain Western body type, you know?
Exactly. People in the East, they talk so much crap
Like,
about the Western like countries, and then they try to Westernize everything in the
exactly.
East.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, for example, um, Middle Eastern women usually
Hmm.
have wider hips and
Exactly.
like broader waist, while Western women have like thinner waist and
And like for me personally, I'm not really offended or affected when like people comment about like the way that I look or my body, but a lot of people are.
okay, so getting to a problem that is prevalent, I would say, in Eastern countries, which is trying to look a Western body type. Like many years ago, prior to the West being exposed to the East and vice versa, many
Mhm.
people felt good about the way they look. Like, a woman having a wide waist wasn't something bad. But now you see them being shamed for having a waist that isn't, as Razan said, 23 inches. And I feel like every culture and every like ethnicity has their own beauty.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
it all comes down to the fact that we look different. And yes, like a certain body type is more popular in countries and
exactly. And like
that.
talking about how like for example, like, people in the East usually have like
Hmm.
darker hair. And like
Yeah.
we're more into people like nowadays, we're more into people who have like lighter hair, like, blonde. Like,
Hmm.
we'd want a man to have like blonde hair or like green eyes. Like,
No, we
not
don't.
everyone will
We
have.
hate blonde hair people.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that's
just saying,
not.
like, there are many people who would disagree with you. Like, and then there's the issue of height. Like, when you shame someone for being short, like, they really can't change that.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
I'm
Mhm.
guilty of that. I'm sorry,
or
guys.
or when someone is like, and when you're tall, they call you, oh, you look like a pole. Like, how is that something good?
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially when you're a tall girl. Like here especially,
Exactly.
I'm considered extremely tall, and it's like I'm not that tall. People are just shorter than me.
Yeah, like the thing is, for example, oh, we think women should be like, shorter while men should be taller. Like, who created these
Women
standards?
should be 5'4" to be perfect, and men have to be 6 foot
Six
two.
foot. Like, why do you
Six
have
foot
these
two.
standards? Where do you get it from?
I don't know. For me, for example, I would want a taller partner just because my whole entire life I've been like taller than everybody else. And I don't know, it makes you feel like in a
You're
way when you're
different.
like taller than your partner, let's say, it makes you feel like you're the man of the relationship. And I'm not really trying to be the man of the relationship. Like it really
But
depends
why
and
are
Yeah, I
people
mean,
men
don't care.
always
this gets into a
considered?
whole like, I guess,
Why
like
are
near gender role topic. So
Hmm.
But why are men always considered to be taller than their partners? girls
See, because that's like an
specifically.
image we have created again.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
similar.
That's an image we've created as a society.
And like
But
I
it
think we're
shouldn't
all
always be
guilty. I
true.
think we're all guilty of that. Like for example, me personally, I would want my
We
partner to be
are.
shorter than me. And I'm sure like one of you would want your partner to be taller than you based on your gender.
Definitely.
We're all
And you know
guilty
Exactly.
of
But
how
that. And
you
I
know how you said for a girl to be perfect, she has to be 5'4"?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, nowadays, it's always one thing superior to another. Like, whether it's being curvy or being thin, having brown eyes or blue eyes, being tall, short,
Hmm.
like, there's always one thing that's always better. And it shouldn't be that way because, like, we're all different, as I said, we're all beautiful the way we are. Like, you
And the
can't
thing is,
always have this one thing that's superior to the other.
and the thing
exactly.
is that um, a lot of people have different opinions. Just because a certain group portrayed by the media prefer skinny, tall women, it doesn't mean, I mean, short women, it doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that like tall women. And
Exactly.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
everyone has
focus.
different opinions.
And like
Exactly. And that's fine. You're going to find somebody for you that
Mhm.
likes you the way that you are.
and guys, this creates actually another problem. For
What?
example, when someone like is into like let's say a
Mm-hmm.
straight man is into women who are curvy,
Okay.
may be shamed for his taste, and like he may feel ashamed of whom he likes
Uh-huh.
because of the
mm-hmm.
media. Like, he may
Oh,
think,
I
oh,
get
there's
that.
something wrong with me because I don't like skinny, because I'm like my preferred type isn't skinny girls. Like
But each person has their own preferences.
exactly.
Like that's like
And
true to
society
everyone.
ignores that. And
That
Exactly.
like
all
Yeah.
leads to one thing, which is a person being judgy. All of those fall
Mm-hmm.
on the judgy part. Like, if a person sees you and they judge you, it's not your fault. But, like, no, never mind. Cut that out.
But
I
the
don't know what
thing
I'm
is, no,
saying.
no, no. The thing, it's fine. The thing is that our brains are programmed to judge people the moment we see them. You like it or
exactly.
not, when you like meet somebody new, you are going to judge them. You're going to have an initial
Yes.
idea
Yes. We're
of
all
them. And it's
guilty of
your
that.
job. It's your job to tell yourself, like, that's not really
Yeah.
real.
But will you let your judgment affect the way you act, or
Exactly.
will you just let it stay there? Like, you can, like, psychologically speaking, you can never control what you think, but you can control how you act.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Also, all these things lead to like really negative effects. Like let's talk
Mhm.
about eating disorders. Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
this negative body image, it can result in like extreme dieting. Like imagine people starving themselves to lose weight. Or it can like all of these
Yeah.
things can develop
Like,
into an eating disorder. And these don't just drain people physically, it's also mentally. Like they can
exactly.
Exactly.
contribute to depression,
Like, I'm sure you've
anxiety,
all heard
so
of
many other
models
problems.
eating toilet paper.
That's
No, I have
so
not.
that's
So,
not like
Oh,
what is that?
actually,
literally.
I have, and it fills their stomach, and I've
Yeah.
heard of that.
Oh
So
my
that they don't
god.
feel
You know
hungry.
the
Like,
thing? You know the thing is that diet culture became very, very popular in about the 80s or the 90s, the 90s, and the beginning
Yeah.
of the 2000s. And so I'm not saying every mother out there, but like mothers of the current generation, I feel like are so affected by what happened during the time diet culture was very popular that they now
exactly.
subconsciously project it onto their children. Like
Mm,
I've seen people
agreed.
say before, like
Mhm.
my mom will be like she'll eat like an orange and a couple of nuts and then she'll not eat anything for the rest of the day. And when they tell her that they're hungry, they'll be like, "Oh, but didn't you just eat?" And it's
Yeah.
like it is their fault, but it's also not their fault because
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like I said in the beginning,
Yeah.
like the
Like, we
children just
make up society
internalize
and then we
whatever
let
they
society
see.
affect us.
It's not
mm,
just society, it's even close people to you. Like, remember what I
yes,
said in the beginning? Like these like it's not the children's fault, but they just hear it and then they keep thinking about it, they
hmm,
internalize it, they spiral, and then all their life is about is being perfect and all they think about is whether they're good looking, they're bad looking, I need to be thin, I need to be fat. It's not right.
Hmm.
exactly.
Exactly.
Perfection is shallow, unreal, and just so uninteresting. Like
Exactly.
there are so many ways to define perfection. And the thing is, like I said before, being perfect is an ideal. You're not supposed to
Exactly, you're
attain
not
it.
meant to achieve it. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
like, we're not
Yeah,
saying
it's
it's completely
unrealistic. We
unachievable. Of
all have
course, some
flaws.
people will be able to, look that exact way the media wants them to look.
Yeah.
But not everyone will do that, and it's okay not to be that ideal body
Exactly.
And
image.
here's
Yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. Like when people like when you like for example lose weight, and then people will tell you that, oh my god, you look so much better. And then some people will like get offended, like you guys said before, like, oh, I didn't look good
Yeah,
before. But other people will like the attention and will want to lose more weight. So people tell them that, people tell them that you, oh wow, you lost weight again, you look so good. But the
mm,
thing is, where does that stop? Where do we
exactly.
stop working
Yeah.
on ourselves? When do we reach an ideal weight?
See, that's
Stop
why I
doing
always say,
that
like,
when we
please
accept
yourself.
ourselves.
Like,
Exactly. When
Exactly.
look
you
at
are
the mirror
happy
and
with
make sure
yourself.
you're pleased with the way you look, not how others will
Exactly.
perceive you. Because
And don't
even if you
lose
change
weight.
to that ideal body type, there will be people who don't like that ideal body type and will harass you
Hmm.
and judge you for that.
Yeah, and you're not losing weight for someone to compliment you and tell you, yeah,
Exactly.
you look
Yeah,
good. Oh
it's
my
for
God, you look so
yourself.
much better now. No, you're doing
Like,
this for yourself. So when you
also,
look at yourself, you're
like,
happy.
when you realize that all of this, like, body image and the way this ideal body type, do you know that body type literally lasts for 10 years and then you will age and it will all go away?
Yes. Oh my God. And again, the metabolism thing. When your metabolism slows down, and as you grow older, you generally stop really caring about the way that you look. And that is why most obese people are over the age of 40, because they try to be skinny their whole entire life, and then they get married and they grow old and they give up on their life and they just eat until they can't even move, and they clog their arteries, they get a heart attack, and they die. So diet culture makes you die. I'm just saying.
I mean, definitely, we're not discouraging you from being a healthy person. Like,
There's
eat
a
eat
difference
that which is
between.
Yeah,
good.
but there's a certain extent. You
Yeah,
Exactly.
can't like go
you
Like,
can
10
be
years
healthy,
starving
but
yourself to be
many
yeah,
people,
skinny.
many people, like, if you go to the gym and you tell the trainer, I'm gonna starve myself to get skinny, he's literally gonna slap you. Like,
Because it's
that is
not
so
right.
wrong.
And
Like
the
Like,
the
thing
point
about
of a
being
losing
gym
weight
healthy,
is
is to
not
be
starving
patient
yourself.
and like it's a process. It takes time. That's
Like,
the like
I lost
that's the
around
whole
like
point
10
of a gym.
kilograms just by quitting Pepsi and chips and like a bunch of sugary treats. Like,
let me add
I didn't
something
stop
else.
eating. No, I would eat even more at lunch, dinner,
yeah,
and breakfast.
Hmm.
but you're
Being
healthy.
healthy, being healthy is not about the quantity of food. It's the
Exactly.
type
It's
of
about the
food.
quality. Like,
Yeah, it's a
exactly.
quality.
Exactly.
And like
Like eat.
everyone has different like needs of like protein, sugar,
Uh-huh,
carbohydrate.
exactly. And the amount of,
Exactly.
like, you need to know what you do.
That's
And
why
like
you
for
go to a
example,
Yeah,
dietitian. Like,
and
And
you
that's
dietitian
need
why
to
you
tells
know
you what
don't
your
your body
compare
blood
needs
and
yourself
are.
to
how your
others.
blood is gonna react to specific things. Not just dieting instantly, but you have to check on yourself before that.
and
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
also
it's also
there are foods that make you bloated, because that's just the way that they are. They make you bloated and your body doesn't
yeah,
react that
exactly.
well
That's
to them.
true.
And so you are going to think, "Oh my god, I gained so much weight and I need to starve myself now to lose it." And it's just that no, you're not. You're just bloated. And that's
Hmm.
okay. You're not supposed to have a flat stomach right after you eat. Your body is supposed to
Yeah.
take in the nutrients, digest the food you need. Like, food is our fuel, okay? And we need it. And stop
And
chewing
it's also
gum and not
why
eating anything
oh,
until 4 p.m. That's really
yeah,
bad for you.
that is
Exactly.
really
And
bad.
like, have you guys also noticed we also shame people for their routines? Like, it's just like
Exactly.
like the media wants to make it seem, oh, the person who wakes up at 5 a.m. and immediately starts working out, eats breakfast at 7 a.m. Oh, that is the perfect, ideal, healthy.
Hmm.
Why do you want to make it seem like that? Like, a doctor would actually correct you. Like, not everyone is meant to
Yeah.
literally eat their breakfast at 7 a.m.
Or
No,
if you don't eat three big meals and three snacks in between each meal, you're starving yourself.
exactly.
You're on a diet.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Like,
you're not. You just don't
can we all
want or
just
Hmm.
need.
like this 3 meal thing is actually a Western thing. I don't think Middle East ever had this 3 meal type of
Exactly.
thinking. Like,
Yeah, that's actually true.
And like, it's common in the West that your dinner is supposed to be a big meal, while in the like East, your lunch is supposed to be a
Your
big
lunch is
meal.
a big meal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you
And
can't
that's why,
digest as much as at night.
yeah,
exactly.
true. And like that's why you shouldn't compare yourself to others because each person has different needs. And like if you
Mm-hmm.
see someone who like if you see someone who got like who lost weight and you see them eat, for example, say an apple each morning, doesn't mean you have to do that as well to lose weight.
Exactly.
Like each
Exactly.
person has a different body type, which means different needs.
Like,
Yeah.
And can we
do you
talk
know there
about
is this
stretch
thing?
marks for a minute? Why are they
Oh,
so shamed on? I think stretch marks
are
are,
beautiful.
I think they're sexy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I really think they are.
No, you're not.
I'm not allowed to say that. Okay. I
No.
think I think they are.
I think
In
stretch marks are beautiful. Like,
me too,
there's
and
nothing wrong
wrinkles
with
and
having them
all
on
of
your
that.
body. It shows your journey.
Exactly. It makes you like
Exactly.
look like you've been through life. You don't have to be
Exactly.
perfect or plastic. And like people who hate wrinkles and get Botox, like by the time I'm 40, I want a small line on my face. I want to look like I've been through life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Mhm.
this
It's
Yeah.
just
Botox culture,
realistic.
like like, oh my God, don't even talk about how big of a problem it is in the Middle Eastern media. Like they they literally pressure women. Like if they have a slight wrinkle in their face, oh, you must go get Botox right now. You must go get filler or whatever. I don't know. Like
Then they judge you for getting filler and Botox.
exactly.
Right?
Oh, you're fake.
Yeah, but
Like what? You were the one
but
telling me
if
I'm ugly for
you
that.
wanna
Like
Also,
do if you
what
wanna
is
do that to
people's
yourself, it's fine. If you wanna
yeah, it's
remove that
fine.
wrinkle,
It's
if you wanna
the
remove
question
that stretch
is,
mark, do it for you, not because someone else told you
exactly.
that
Mhm.
it doesn't look good.
and like what is people's obsession with being natural? You know what I mean? Like there
Exactly.
people are so shamed like, "Oh my god, I have to like straighten my hair because it's not naturally straight," or vice versa, "I have to curl my hair." Like the fact that you actually had to work for everything that you have probably says a lot more about your character than just
But
having it
do you know
all
how ironic that
naturally.
is? Do you know how ironic that is? Even the natural body type has an ideal, fake,
Mhm.
unrealistic image to it as well. Like, oh, when you think natural, oh, you think, oh my God, they're gonna look like thin waist and everything. Like, no, that's also that one also has some fakeness to it, some unoriginality
And
to it,
also
some
about like natural, like I'm talking
unnaturality
like
to it.
about makeup or like some people like girls take so much pride in the fact that they don't wear makeup. Like I am so
Yeah.
happy for you that you are confident enough to go out into the world with no makeup on, but some people aren't. And like it really affects them when you go like, "Oh, I don't need makeup." Like
Yeah,
nobody really needs makeup,
Yeah, true.
but if
But
you're
exactly.
some just feel better with it.
exactly, and that's okay. You know, whatever makes
I
you
Yeah, it
think
is.
confident.
I personally think makeup is a talent, and whoever
It
actually like
is.
does makeup and it's like so beautiful, and they go out, even if you want to go out to get a bottle of milk and you put full makeup on, I think that's a talent. That's like really
Talent
beautiful
I
and
wish I
amazing.
possessed.
Yeah,
Same.
but see, again, there's
I
another
literally
problem
suck
when
at
it comes to
makeup.
makeup. Like,
Hmm.
we shame people for not looking good enough, and then we shame them for wearing makeup to hide up the fact that they
Exactly.
look that way.
That's the
Exactly.
thing.
We
People
give
are
them the
always gonna judge
insecurity and
no
then we
matter
And
shame
what.
then we
them for
judge them
having
for
it.
fixing that insecurity.
Uh-huh.
Like,
And it's like a cycle that breeds discontent like
exactly.
endlessly.
That's why, like, even if you, let's say, want to get plastic surgery to, like, remove that wrinkle or whatever, or, like, make your nose, oh my God, don't even talk about noses.
Oh my
Okay?
god, people are like, I'm gonna break my nose so I can get plastic surgery. And
Exactly.
that's
Oh
Like,
my god.
by the way, did you guys know that before the Middle East became, like, exposed to the West,
yes.
big noses was actually seen as a sign of wisdom? Like, I actually watched
Fatima,
a whole video
you're
about it.
not the wisest.
It was actually seen as something like only wise people would have.
No, you
And
know what
Hmm.
I
and
think?
then
I
now
think
there are literally people who smash their noses just to get a plastic surgery. Like,
That's sick.
stop. You're not ugly. It's
Oh
no,
my
fine.
but wait,
god.
wait. A fun fact about having big noses. It's actually something that God has given to you because people who live in the Middle East and let's say Africa usually
Have
tend
bigger
to have
noses.
big noses because of the hot weather we live in, and
Yeah,
that
like they need to get more
it's
air
like
in.
God, yeah, exactly. Like it's like God is giving you a filter for you
It's like,
to get fresh air. But like if you go
You
to
God.
like everyone
Italy and
adapts
those
to their
types of
environment. We
places,
forget
yeah,
like
exactly.
like
Just like
almost all of
animals
our
have,
features in our body
Yeah,
are due to
exactly.
adaptations.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
for
just like
example,
Evolution.
animals have,
Yeah. It's
what
like
do animals
camels.
have?
They
like
have
not
long
even
eyelashes to like prevent dust in the desert, like desert.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Well,
or for
humans have
example
adaptations too.
let's say Middle
I
Eastern
think
people
a
have more
camel would be
hair.
so cool,
Like Middle Eastern
if
people, they
that
have
makes
more hair,
sense.
for example, like thicker
Yeah.
eyebrows, because
Yes.
your body is Middle Eastern places are more hot, and
And
you would
body
need
hair. People
sweat
are so
glands and like
shamed for body hair.
exactly.
And it's
Like
so
Yeah.
sad.
I'm pretty sure 300 years ago in the Middle East, not everyone was going around every minute shaving their body.
Mhm.
I am pretty sure that
True.
wasn't happening. I am pretty sure a man and a woman were well pleased with the amount of hair on their body. No one needs to be shamed for the amount of hair on their body because that is just the way they look due to an adaptation. It's something natural.
No
Like
one needs to
Exactly.
be shamed, period. Unless you're a rapist, you're a sex offender, or you bully people for fun, there's no reason you should be shamed. But
exactly.
unless
Yeah.
you do any of those things, I will shame you without remorse. Sorry.
Like that's the thing, you know? In the Middle East, like a man, Middle Eastern men are hairy. And women here are starting to want men that are not hairy at all. And like they have zero hair on their body. But
That's
then if you
also
go
being
Oh, that's
judgy.
weird.
yeah, and then if you
All
go
of
to the
this fall
West,
in the hands of judgment.
yeah, and then if you go to the West, there are women who want hairy men. Like then what?
Switch.
Like
Exactly. Everyone has their own opinion, but
yeah,
everyone can have their own opinion, except they
while
can't be
not forcing
judgy
it
to
on
Without
others.
others.
Why do
letting
we
it
feel
hurt
the
and
need
affect
to
people.
express our opinions? Like, why don't we just internalize them and keep
Exactly.
them?
Like
Exactly.
you
Like, no,
don't
I,
need
I
to have a
promise you,
comment about everything.
exactly, I
Even
promise
if
you,
it's a
nobody
nice
cares about your
comment.
opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
And
at
even
the
if
end of
it's
the
not
day,
something bad, you can just keep it to yourself and have that
Hmm.
opinion for yourself. You don't
like
have
look,
to always comment on
even
everything.
even if you want to change the way a certain part of you looks, make sure you're doing it for yourself and not due to the media
Exactly.
Hmm.
pressuring you or society pressuring you. Make sure you're doing it for yourself because the moment you change stuff for society, you're never going to be pleased. Oh, okay. Now
No.
that I lost weight, now everyone's insulting
Now
me. Oh,
what?
maybe I
It
should
won't
go and
make
gain
you
even
more
more
Exactly.
weight.
confident. It won't make you happier.
Exactly.
The thing is, if you're not confident, honestly, fake it. Like, I'm telling you, just pretend like you're confident.
Exactly.
And then at a certain time, you will become confident. That's okay.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Anyways, if you took anything from this, it's that you don't have to change yourself for people. And if someone hasn't told you today, I love the way that you look, and I don't think that you need to change. And I think everyone here can support that. Stretch marks are
Yes.
beautiful, wrinkles are beautiful, every
Yeah.
single body type is beautiful, and don't make you feel any less. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Would you like to support our content? Make sure you subscribe to our channel. The link is in the description below. AL Podcasts, podcasts beyond belief.